So we can see from that table that the enterprise architecture maturity explains some of the dilemmas that organizations have encountered in using enterprise architecture and service-oriented architecture. They may well have been at a stage of maturity which was inconsistent with the technologies. For instance, we see here enterprises in stage 1 typically have business silos where data exists redundantly throughout the enterprise. When the data values in one version change, all versions must be updated to synchronize that change throughout the organization. If you think back to segment 1, when I discussed the business loan application from Henry Jones, with details of his application noted down in the applicant ledger as the loan application passed through various people's hands. When those ledgers were automated as databases, the redundant data also appeared redundantly in those databases. So when the address changed, it had to be changed in multiple places throughout the databases implemented for the organization. Redundant data versions and the need to synchronize those versions when one version changes is very expensive for enterprises. What is not always appreciated is that with redundant data, this also leads to redundant data maintenance processes to keep the data up to date. Redundant data maintenance processes brings with it additional costs, associated redundant staffing and redundant work to re-enter that changed data redundantly into different systems to update the redundant data, with delays, with errors, and error correction steps also occurring redundantly. Redundant data in many enterprises historically has led to hundreds of millions of dollars spent on redundant processes to keep that redundant data consistent and up to date. Through enterprise architecture, you will see how we will be able to implement integrated databases where one version is shared throughout the enterprise, and when that data version changes, all systems that reflect that and share that data are changed immediately. Stage 2, standardized technology, does not help the redundant data. The resolution has been achieved traditionally through business integration with integrated data models and integrated databases, and I touched on this briefly in the introduction to enterprise architecture in segment 4. We've always known the solution to the redundant data problem. Basically, through data modeling, we've always been able to develop integrated databases through integrated logical data models that can be implemented non-redundantly. But to do that, it has often meant that we've had to say to management, to achieve that integration, we've got to redevelop our databases and redevelop all of our systems to use integrated databases with integrated systems. And that has been terribly expensive, to throw everything away and start again. When data exists non-redundantly in one version only one data maintenance process is needed to keep it up to date. And when that data version is updated, all references see the same data value. You will also find that with that integrated data comes reusable processes that are identified, implemented once, and shared throughout the organisation. As I've said here, from the integrated databases are also identified reusable processes. These, in fact, are the standardised processes that are needed for stage 3, as we saw. The identification of these reusable processes is discussed in section 3 shortly when I talk about strategic modelling for rapid delivery of enterprise architecture. Enterprise architecture, we've found, is most effective in enabling an organisation to evolve to stage 3 with standardised processes and then to stage 4 business modularity. In summary, in this segment, I introduced version 2 of the Zachman framework with its more consistent business terminology compared to the evolutionary aspect of Zachman framework version 1. And we then discussed the 4 stages of enterprise architecture maturity. We looked at stage 1 with business silos. Unfortunately, most enterprises today are in stage 1. Some have seen the benefits of moving to stage 2 with standardized technology, but it's not until an organization moves to stage 3 with standardized processes that the real benefits are achieved, with reusable processes leading to stage 4 business modularity and strategic agility, with an enterprise able to change its systems rapidly to compete in the rapid change environment that we find ourselves in today, and the even greater change environment that will come with tomorrow.